All right, we're live. Hey, Steve.
Yes, we are. Hello, Stu. Good day. Good day, everybody in Crown Council Nation.
Welcome to Crown Council Live. We're grateful to be back. Thankful for it's Thursday. It is what, August 17th? I don't even know what date it is. Kids are back in school. Man.
They are in Utah. They are in Texas. I'm sure they are in most other parts of the country.
Back to school.
High school, elementary, middle school. It's I don't know about you, but we're back to the school starting earlier and earlier.
Yes, yeah.
So on that point, while we're getting started mentioning that point, so on the horizon in 2 weeks is what traditionally is the worst month in dentistry, September.
Oh, great.
Is Sucktember. Not my preferred. And here's the deal is we know this every year and like everybody gets surprised about, oh, we had a horrible. Make September the best month of the year by being like double proactive.
Nice.
Just know with back to school and everything going on, it can be a little bit more of a challenge. So double up, redouble your efforts and make September the best month, not the worst month.
Best-tember. Let's do this.
We've got a webinar. We've got the webinar in this topic. Stu, we might want to, before we're done today, let's throw that up so everybody knows where to find it.
Okay. Let's do it.
It's called From Worst to Best Month Ever. I love to highlight this every year so that everybody can get focused on being proactive and being the victor, not the victim.
I love that. Very good. Hey, we created a live stream with the hope of weekly connecting Crown Council members and Crown Council team members to each other. Yes. Let everybody know what's going on, share some of the best stories that are happening, ideas. And we had one that came across the email network this week that I would love to share. So this is an email from the email network. And if you're not on the email network, you should be. This is from Dr. Karen Williamson, the winner of the Best Doctor to Work For. And I can read it to you if you can't read it. She used the Crown Council's powerful team meeting with Inky Johnson. So he presented during the virtual annual event. And after the video, she explains here that she let some of her team members talk about some of the things they learned and the perspective they gained from watching Inky Johnson. Then she lists all of these neat things that her team talked about and shared just from spending the time together in a powerful team meeting. So one employee is having a major life change, moving from her beloved house to an apartment, downsizing to prepare for a future retirement. And she has hives all over right now, seeing the doctor this afternoon. And these little experiences go on with each of these team members. So really fun perspective from Karen, where she says, these team members faithfully show up and give it their all each day for their jobs and practice. One was taking her kids to school this morning and missed the meeting, and two others shares with her how powerful it was that she was missed. So anyway, really fun perspective here when a doctor spends the time to really lead and teach and care about their team. I love this. And then there was a lot of fun responses here back to Karen from other Crown Council members, which we won't share.
Well, and so here, I think the big takeaway from this is using the resources. And I'm a huge Karen Williamson fan. Karen and her husband they're my wingmen. When we've done the Miles for Life motorcycle deal together, we fly fish together. She is a great leader and has just a great way of just taking every resource and putting it to work. So the fact she's using the powerful team meetings is rock on, Karen, and great example to follow.
I might share, Steve, I'm going to just navigate real quick where they are. So everyone who's on the Crown Council membership can go to their directory, and in the premium member hub, right here at the very beginning, the latest content, you'll see powerful team meetings. So all of the powerful team meetings that we've ever created, and these come from annual event speakers, presenters who have been on the main stage, and then we snip them up to 5-10-minute videos, which always include an exercise at the end for you to work through. So perspective drives performance was Inky, a little 15-minute powerful team meeting. So a lot of really this is years worth. I mean, we can really go back, Steve, if you want to dig into the archives here of some of these older powerful team meetings, but definitely worth your time. So very good. All right, cool.
Cool, man. Love it.
Hey, we have got a TOPS practice advisor joining us, Tanya Bailey.
Tanya Bailey.
Tanya Bailey's joining us.
All-star Tanya Bailey.
Man, and she is joining us from All-Star Practice. So excited to have when we've got a little
We got
text.
the whole team.
Oh man, yes, that's not a virtual background, everyone. That is a real
That is
team.
the whole gang.
Hey, Tanya,
Hi.
could you tell us where you are today?
I am so excited to tell you where I'm at today. I am in Spokane, Washington, in the great Pacific Northwest with Dr. Chris and Dr. Topher Chaffin, sorry,
There you
and their amazing team.
Very cool.
Love
They
All
have
right,
been,
so quick backstory here.
yeah.
Dr. Chris,
Yeah,
how many years? This goes way back to dental boot camp. Dr. Chris Chaffin is like one of original Crown Council. How many years?
well, Tanya was asking me that this morning. I thought, well, I'll have to look it up. And I,
Is it like 18?
no,
No, I bet-
I think it was like 4 or 5 years after Crown Council started.
yeah, so probably late 90s, early 2000s. So long time, great culture of success. And Topher is Gen 2 and Gen 2. And they continue to build a great practice, a lot of fun dynamics going on. And so great to have you guys with us. And Tanya, why don't you give us some highlights of the focus today?
Yeah, so one of the things that's really exciting that they have been working on a journey over the last few years, Dr. Chris Chaffin is probably had more clinical CE hours than any dentist I've ever met. And at this stage of career he's at, his dedication to clinical excellence is amazing. And Dr. Topher is 100% following right in those footsteps. And so we've just been continuing over the last year and a half working on, creating an amazing experience. And right now we are working on the journey of becoming an unrestricted provider with dental insurance.
All right, so tell her in case that I love it. Okay, so in case everybody's not familiar with our TOPS vernacular of being an unrestricted provider, walk through what that entails.
Great question. So rather than being restricted to what insurance allows as far as services and fees, we're going through a really strategic process that'll take probably a couple of years to become insurance independent, meaning we're still going to 100% help our patients maximize their insurance savings while allowing them to have the highest level of care that's not restricted by either what insurance will or will not pay or what they'll allow. And that's really critical here because the level of care, the word picture we used just this morning was that the level of care that is provided here, the excellence, I mean, we're looking at hygienists that are not only hygienists, but they're restorative hygienists. There's an assisting team here that are EFTAs, which means expanded functions, are able to do very expanded services. And so the insurance restriction creates a financial crunch that makes it challenging to provide that level of care. But Dr. Chaffin is so committed to that. We have to make sure that we can keep the business viable. So the word picture we used this morning was providing, there's a hotel group here in Spokane called the Davenport, which is some really, really nice hotels that Marriott acquired a few years ago. But they're providing a Davenport hotel experience, and oftentimes insurance is making them charge a Motel 6 fee.
Ooh, I love the word picture.
Yeah.
Not that I have anything against Motel 6, because
No, well, and Dr. Chaffin did share with us that Motel 6 got its name because their rooms used to be $6.
yeah,
Whoa.
kind of like 7-Eleven used to be open from 7 to 11.
Right. So the team's super excited. We're really working on the organization and treatment planning and case presentation and financial arrangements to support all of that so that everyone in the room can, earn the rewards from what they do, both from a financial standpoint and a fulfillment standpoint.
Nice.
Love it. Okay, quick quiz, and this is open for anybody's response. on the team, doctors included. You're broadcasting across the world here. If you were to describe what makes your practice unique and different in your marketplace, you're standing in line at the grocery store checkout line, and somebody turns around and says, "What do you do?" And you have to describe it in a unique and compelling way that sets it apart from other dental practices in Spokane. What would you say? Dr. Chris, first one. All right, here we go.
Just an example, world-class dentistry, and a one-stop shop.
World-class dentistry, one-stop shop. I love it. Very good. Any other entries? That was good.
Oh, second row. Look, do it. Yes.
Go for
Third
it.
row. Yep.
I'd say.
Tell us your name.
What's your name? It's a surprise.
It's a surprise.
I'd say we give complete conservative care in a caring environment, caring, fun environment.
Love it.
Chris
Complete
gave the
conservative
dentist
care in a
all
caring
the it's
environment.
fun here, they're more willing to come.
Nice.
Love
Thank you, Louise.
it. Louise. All right. Love it, Louise. All right, Topher, what would you add to that?
Well, my goal is to make it so that other dentists have to look at an x-ray to know that I did anything.
Ooh, I like it. Very
nice.
cool. Excellent. All right. So what would, second response question is, if you're going to tell other team members value of a coach. So what does Tanya do for you all?
She's like magnesium in a chemical reaction. She's the catalyst.
Ooh, I like,
Cool.
Chris, you have the best word pictures.
I didn't know what that meter had done, so I didn't know if that was good or
That's
bad.
Of all-
Explosions.
Whatever.
I love that. Tanya's like magnesium. I like it. Very cool. All
What
right.
about, I'm interested to know, maybe from the team members, what is it about your team that makes you guys different and special? Is it the training? Is it your mission statement? Is it the way you treat patients? What is it that sets you guys apart from what you're saying to each other? What is it that makes you different?
And this is the part where you say, I'll say something good.
I think we all genuinely like each other, and so we get along. We're on the same page, and we all have the same vision that Dr. Chapman and Dr. Topher and Tanya have, that we want to improve the practice and just be more efficient and provide quality care. And we're all on the same page with that. So that's what makes our team so cohesive and amazing.
And can I have a follow-up question? How is that possible? Because that's kind of like, everybody loves to say that. How do you do it? How is that made possible?
Well, I think that is one benefit I could say Tanya brings to the team, because she helps us facilitate, effective communication strategies.
Mm.
And tactics that we can do, that we can practice to be more organized. And so that just helps the team as a whole.
Nice. Anybody else?
I'll pay you later.
I think that this group of people, I just started here in November, but they're very, very concentrated on everybody reaching their goals in life and educating and support. They support each other really very well, and they do it through humor, and it's just a really good time here all day. Everybody here is achieving all of their education goals at some, I don't think he'll ever be done educating himself. And that's kind of inspirational to the rest of us. Like, he is already running a pretty successful practice. And then he's like, what do you want to do with your life? And he supports us through that and finds us avenues to do so.
Great. Great response.
Very cool. Love what you guys do. And thank you for the great example, Dr. Chris, for decades. And Topher for
Maybe
carrying
sound
on.
when you say that.
Hey,
Hey, and
And,
we can acknowledge Steve, $150,000 over their lifetime donated to Smiles for Life.
so cool. That is big applause there. So awesome job in doing good, along with all the other things that you do. So thanks for the great example, and thanks for taking some time to broadcast your good across the globe today.
Thank you.
And Tanya, thank you for being magnesium.
Yeah, Tanya.
Happy to do it.
Tanya, I got a new name for you now. It's Tanya M. Bailey.
She makes the reaction.
She does.
Catalyst.
Yes, she does.
Ooh,
Thanks,
well
team.
said, Diana. All
Thanks,
right,
guys.
you guys have a great day. Thanks for having us.
Hey, thanks. Bye-bye. Man, that is,
That's awesome, isn't it?
yeah, Topher came to the Young Dentist program a few years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, and to see the second generation moving forward like that. You know, it's funny because I want to answer the questions for them. I know exactly what they're doing that makes them different. Sometimes they just don't see it in themselves that like having training, having a mentor, leadership. I mean, there are so many things that they're doing that make them incredible. I hope they see it. So,
Yep.
Hey, we're waiting on our resource partner who is not here yet. So we're going to kind of transition into a bit of a, so we have a recorded video. You are looking at Kent Tuttle's Instagram page.
Love this.
Kent purchased one of Dr. Brian Harris's practices 5 or 6 years ago. And in doing so, rebranded it, obviously, to be his own practice. And Steve, I joke around with him that my Instagram page is only filled with dental related items. It's the only thing I follow. And so it was fun to follow his journey. And there's one thing I saw here that he does. And if you can see in this picture, he has this van. He calls it the Tuttle Shuttle. And I interviewed him yesterday to find out what he does in this shuttle, how he connects the Tuttle Shuttle to his practice, and kind of the story behind what this thing is. You can see here, mobile dentistry smile makeovers. So I'll share my a little video here and we'll get started with it. And hopefully our resource partner will join us here in a sec. But this video it's about 10 or 12 minutes long. So.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Stuart here. Welcome, Kent Tuttle. What's up, Kent?
It's good to be here.
Good to be here. Grateful to have you. Thankful for. I am not that there's other stories that I'm not as excited about, but dude, the thing that you are doing and what you're building has been really fun to watch. I've watched Kent through the Young Dentist program, and over the last, I don't even know, 6 or 7 years, especially on social media. And he's doing something really fun with a charity and his Tuttle Shuttle that we're going to talk about. But before we do that, maybe do you want to just introduce yourself, where you are, and tell a little bit about your practice?
Yeah, Dr. Kent Tuttle. I am here in Scottsdale, Arizona. I bought my practice 5 years ago from the Harris Dental Group, which are Crown Council docs, Brian Harris. And it was a great office. You know, I've just taken that over and I'm growing it. I think he was only coming, he would use it as a satellite office, and I'm growing it. So we've had steady growth ever since I took over. But me, it's I can't sit still. I don't know what it is about me. So I've got to do other things.
I know what it is, dude. Overachiever. That's what it is.
Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. So yeah, it's busy. I started a charity in 2021. We purchased the Tuttle Shuttle. It's a mobile dental outfitted Sprinter van 4x4, and we do smile makeovers on the go. So I had this idea of why wait for people to come to you to do smiles. You can go out and find them. And so I've been starting that on a charity basis, and I'll probably do that as a for-profit business model as well, to go out and do the smile previews on the go.
And I've got your Instagram page pulled up. I want to show everybody some of the cool stuff. I've just got to log in here. It's giving me
no worries.
So I'm going to navigate.
Instagram. That's what Brian Harris taught me, is to do the Instagram stuff. Yeah. And in the beginning, I was like, I don't want to be the Instagram guy. I dated a YouTuber back in the day, and he vlogged everything, and I was like, I just don't want to be that guy, you know.
Dude, you are good here. I mean, here's your page.
Yeah,
I'm serious. I always joke around about this, that if someone were to get a hold of my phone and see what and who I follow on social media, they'd be like, what who is this guy? But here's the shuttle.
Yeah.
So fun. I mean, it is such an incredible part of your brand, who you are, and what you're building. Do you want to just maybe share a little more about it, kind of how it works and
Yeah.
how you built it? Okay.
Yeah, so in 21, I had this idea to, and actually before I bought the practice, nobody knows this, but I almost went all in on mobile before I bought my dental practice. So, but I researched it and I didn't have any clients, and it was going to be like $1 million to do this like really fancy. I wanted to do a semi truck with like multiple ops.
Oh my.
Yeah, and that was going to be, and my wife and I joked about that, as that was like the Tuttle shuttle.
Yeah.
And this is right when Tesla was saying that they were going to have these hybrid semi trucks and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, how cool would that be to go, do that. So anyway, I decided not to do that. I decided to do regular brick and mortar and then build my charity off of that. I didn't want to wait until I was in my 50s or 60s to do the charity because I'd be way too exhausted.
Right.
Because it is exhausting, right? To go out in the van, to pack what you need for that day, and then go and do it, find an assistant, come back, then you got to clean everything up, right? It's a logistical nightmare. But what we've been doing is just keeping it isolated to these smile previews that we do. And so we surprise somebody with a smile makeover on the go.
Wow.
And they have no idea that they're going to win a free smile. So we show up at their house. We usually give them a balloons, a big check. And then we say, congratulations, you're the winner of the free smile makeover. And then do you want to get started today? And that's kind of my trademark, is getting started today. So they'll come in the van. I'll do the smile test drive where I just add composite on their teeth and smooth it down. And I make it look like they have veneers, right?
Mm-hmm.
If they have missing teeth and stuff like that too, I'll just waste a bunch of composite and just throw it up there. And it's all for that preview so that they can see and feel like what's actually going to happen. And then we finish up the work in, most of the time, I should say, in the office. However, I can do a full set of veneers in the van. It is feasible.
And then how do you make the van work financially? I mean, I know that's kind of I don't know if that's revealing trade secrets, but I mean, how does it work when it's your charity?
Yeah, no, great question. So I actually purchased the van on the business. So my business was doing well enough that I decided to just make that part of the business itself. And so the business has not yet donated the van completely to charity. So I just, on the business books, I just keep it as a business expense. But there are a lot of write-offs, all the gas is a business write-off. The purchase of the van, the build out of the van, it was all write-offs. I took advantage of those write-offs on the business side. Because I probably will be using it for profit. I've opened up my schedule actually on Tuesdays. I have Tuttle Shuttle Tuesdays. I'm gonna be marketing that to my patients, where I actually go out in the van and I will provide curbside service for smile design stuff in the van. So not cleanings and that kind of a thing, but for smile design, I'm gonna open that up and see what kind of traction I get. But I've basically just left it all on the business. The charity operates through donations.
Okay.
So, and really, well, the nice thing about the charity and going into it, if anybody's thought about starting a dental charity, the biggest expense that your charity is going to have when you donate a smile is the lab. Okay. Doctors will donate their time, usually, right? And what I ask for my doctors is just 2 cases a year. I don't think that's too much to ask to take on the busy schedule. So 2 cases a year, and then the rest of the expense that the doctor doesn't want to eat is that lab bill. So what I've been doing is the last year is I've been making relationships with the local labs and some labs that are bigger that can afford to give away more free work. And so now I have relationships with 4 or 5 major labs in Arizona that have each donated $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 of credits.
Wow.
And that's how I'm running the charity right now, is just through the doctor's donated time and the credits. And I've had a couple employees that I've had to pay. But overall, it's pretty low budget. And everything's going towards these smiles.
Very cool. Can we just a couple questions about it too? has it affected your team, your culture? Are they like amped on this, or is this something that they're like, oh, the shuttle? I mean, how's that work?
I would say at first they were like, "You're crazy. What are you doing?"
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and then I think they have caught the vision. Most of the time, you've got to be a part of one of these surprises. You've got to take a ride on the van. You
Right.
you gotta be there to really feel all the feels. And so now my patients or my staff is talking about it with my patients. My patients are talking about it because I leave the van parked out front of my office.
Nice.
Most of the time, because I pay rent, right? So I assume a parking spot and I just keep it there when it's not in use. And so, yeah, people are starting to talk about it. But my staff, I will say, it's easy to get burnt out. And so what I did was I got a little bit too addicted maybe to the charity aspect, just giving away stuff and bringing in people and say, hey, we're going to take care of you. And what I didn't realize was how a burnout affects a dentist, right? Like I'm 7-8 years into my career and I'm doing this charity stuff. So any free time I have is getting eaten up by the charity.
Right.
So my wife is like, oh, you need to spend more time at home. With the charity also, it's like, I can't just be doing all of this backbreaking work myself. So I've got to have help. I've got to have donated time. I've got to have donated other doctors donating their time and assistants donating their time. And so, and then I think, everybody's just going to buy into this all right away. And it's not an instant overnight thing. Building a charity is like building a business. It takes time. It takes months and years.
Yeah.
So.
And then what about, I don't want to say, how do you use your charity for your patients, but is this something that has created an incredible, has it created buzz? Do your patients, I mean, you already mentioned that your team talks about it. What about patients? Is it something that you're known for?
Yes, I would say yes. I think patients, I don't know what they say to their friends, but I do know that my practice is growing and just continues to grow. I got to shout out Brian Harris again, because he had me read a book called Give to Grow. The Go Giver is what it's called, the Go Giver. And it's all about this give to grow mentality. And I can attest to that. I would say as I give more and more, as my patients know that I give, they're more likely to refer their friends and family. They know that I'm not in it to try to for a quick buck. They know that I'm there to treat them and their families, and that I do this charitable thing on the side because I enjoy doing it. So.
Very cool. Anything you've learned that you'd share with Crown Council about your little journey here, even just in dentistry or maybe with the shuttle?
Oh man, I would say lessons learned. I would say that it never hurts to give back, right? Like, and my treasures are not here in this world, without getting too preachy, right? Like,
right.
like it's about the relationships. It's not about the money, even though it will come back to you 2, 5, 10-fold. It's more about the relationships and the people. When I think about the people's lives that I've surprised and blessed, the people that now have more dignity and more self-confidence, and they see it as light at the end of the tunnel, where, hey, this doesn't fix their whole life, because life is complex and you have things like addiction and other things, that people are struggling with, mental health disorders, stuff like that. But at least, PTSD, stuff like that doesn't change overnight. But at least you do the teeth and you build a relationship, and then all of a sudden this person has a little bit of hope. And then you follow up a year later and they're like, wow, they got the relationship, they got the job, they're doing better. Their life's not perfect, but they're doing better. And so every dollar given back is definitely worth it.
Very cool. Man, what an idea. Grateful you'd share it with everybody. We were just talking about being at the annual event together in Austin, and this is what I love, Ken.
Can't wait for Austin.
How
That's really fun.
You were so willing to come on and share. I think I love that about the best doctors that we talk to, is that they don't hide their things that are working. You're willing to share it and talk about it, and let other guys know.
I'd love to see many more shuttles out there. They don't call it the Tuttle Shuttle, call it whatever you want. But
dude, that name is just worth $1 million on its own. So.
That was my wife's, actually. My wife.
So good. Very
Yeah.
cool.
Well, I
All right,
enjoyed
man.
being here with you, Stuart. I really appreciate you.
Appreciate it, Kent.
Thanks for spreading the word.
Okay, man. I'll see you soon.
Okay. All right. Take care.
As corny, maybe as some people may think that is, there's actually research data that shows that rhyming actually works in marketing.
I
That it's more
agree.
memorable and people latch onto it and you remember it. So yeah, take note. I love the Tuttle Shuttle.
Total shell. You know, Steve, one thing I was thinking about, which I've seen multiple practices do now, this is kind of a new transition, in my opinion. They are taking very seriously the creation of shareable content from the practice. They're not leaving it up to chance to grab a good picture or, man, we're going to a thing. I mean, all shout out to Rodeo Dental. They hire a professional full-time videographer who is constantly in the practice, creating videos, doing testimonies, and then producing those for social media. And I know Kent does the same thing. He is constantly thinking about and creating shareable stories with professional video and picture that tell, he's not hiring a marketing executive or have some, he's just sharing the stories that he's creating through the Tuttle Shuttle. And it is smart. It is a great way to get your message out. So
Very cool idea.
hey, we got them. Sunbit. They're in the waiting room. We did it.
Okay.
Bit of a time zone miscommunication. So luckily we were able to figure it out. But as Sunbit comes in, Steve, I know you've had a lot of experience with Sunbit. Do you want to talk and introduce them here real quick?
All right.
Hey, guys.
Yeah.
So Robert and Brennan, good day.
Good day.
Hey,
So,
good to see you. Sorry for the time zone mix-up. That's
oh, good.
that's
We didn't-
And that's my bad.
We didn't even need to tell anybody. We just transitioned, just whoosh.
we're just going into it. That's
We outed ourselves.
Yeah. So, for those that may not be familiar with Sunbit, and I'm gonna do my best, Brennan, Robert here, and then you can clean me up. So I've had the opportunity to get to know this team and their expanded team over the last year and a half. And this is just an amazing patient finance program. They got to start, really became huge in automotive, in auto service environments where you go in to get your car repaired, and they have some amazing technology that just exploded in that arena. And then they introduced it to dentistry. And one of the things that I love about it is wicked fast. When I went through this the first time, I was like, wow. So all I did was pulled out my driver's license, and it gets scanned with an iPad that's all loaded with the Sunbit software. And Robert, I can't remember it. I mean, I know you guys say 30 seconds. It was not 30 seconds. It was like less than 10 seconds. Up pops on the screen. You've been approved. Here's how much. Here's your options. It was that fast. Then I just got to click on the option that I wanted, and we're done. I mean, just sign the deal and we're done. So, no more applications, no more, waiting for approvals, the whole deal. It is just wicked fast. So that's one of the pieces that's just amazing about the whole program. They made it fast, easy, and frictionless. How'd I do, Robert? Did I do a pretty good job of describing this?
I think you know it. Yeah, no, I don't know if I need to be on this show. You know that I think from our inception and our start in car dealerships and on the service side of a dealership to the frictionless process, which is key, right? For the staff and for the end customer, the patient in dental. Yeah, speed kills, but also the process and the product have to be good.
So in addition to that, my understanding is Sunbit will finance as low as a 500 FICO score. So making it available to, Robert, I can't remember what percentage of the population does that cover? I mean, I don't know what percentage of the population is below 500, but if you go 500 and above, you're getting pretty good chunk of the population, right?
It's in dental, it's over 85% of the patient population. And there's a semantics game that happens in the world of financing that sounds, semantics, it sounds needlessly nuanced, but it's important. Sometimes you'll hear as low as 500. What we do is everyone above 500. So it's not just that 1 or 2 out of 10 500 FICO patients. Yeah. If you're above 500 FICO, confidently you're going to get approved. And that's in the American population, forget dental for a second, there's only 12 million people who fall below 500 FICO. So everyone else is above it, which is, the vast majority of people. Yeah.
Very cool. So it makes it, it's just, here's, when I survey audiences and I say, what is the most common objection you get from patients? Everybody always says money, because that's the easiest thing to object to. And there's a lot more to it than that for most people, but that's the easiest one to object to. So this is just one more tool in the toolbox to make it easier to do that. And the phrase that I love, the Sunbit phrase, if I can share this piece of this pearl, is when you present the fee. If I were presenting Robert the fee, I'd say, Robert, your fee for what's been recommended here is $2,500. Your insurance savings is $500, which leaves your portion. This is TOPS language. Your portion is $2,000. And here's the Sunbit ad. And the good news is you don't have to pay all of that today. Right. And then that's the lead in to the finance piece. If that's something that you believe they'll be interested in. And so a lot of good financial arrangements. I call it the X factor. This is an X factor to make it that much easier for patients to say yes to needed dentistry, and especially dentistry that maybe they weren't expecting to have done. It just makes it easier for them to do it. All right, so what else, Robert, you get to share with us a couple other pearls that will help in the overall financial arrangements area.
Definitely. Well, I think one of the things is conventional wisdom and conventional kind of practice around financing is let's talk about financing when it comes time to talk about treatment cost, right? And that happens usually towards the end of treatment plan presentation, after the patients come into the office, after they visit. But there's a way to maximize case acceptance, and there's a way to make the utilization of financing in an office more effective. And that's by reducing the anxiety that a patient might have around coming in the first place, and then making it easier for the staff and for the office to talk about it. So even before a patient checks in, by leveraging banners on your website, by leveraging your marketing touch points to let patients know about the ability to split the payment over time, right? Because I don't know what I'm going to pay, but I know that I could need to pay $1,200. And it's not that I don't have plenty of people have money, but if I'm making a decision between $1,200 to go on vacation and $1,200 on a crown, that decision is not hard for me if I'm given the choice. But if I have the ability to not pay $1,200 a day for the crown, get my dental work taken care of, and still go on vacation, I'm going to do both. So you want to give the patient the confidence to come in with the knowledge that they're going to have the ability to pay over time and still take care of the things in their day-to-day life that they want to pay for without dipping into savings, without doing something that they weren't expecting to do.
So Robert, one more piece of the equation. What resources does Sunbit now provide in terms of if I want to have on my website, or if I want to introduce this to patients even before they come into the office, or as a way to pay for unscheduled treatment? Give us what the digital tools include now for outside the office.
Can I show a visual of it very quickly?
Of course.
Awesome. Cool.
You're so glad you asked.
Good. I'm going to do this. So basically, I'm in financing. So I think of the patient journey in a much more simplistic way than any doctor, any office, or a lot of technology companies do, because I view it in 3 stages: kind of the scheduling, pre-visit, the visit, share, treatment plan presentation, and then the checkout. And Sunbit has a tool for each of them, or a product for each of them. Scheduling, there's banners on the website, and I could kind of double click on it, but basically flexible monthly payment plans, a drop down in your menu, and links for patients to get approved ahead of time. So if I see that an office has flexible monthly payments, I click on it, I in 30 seconds input my information, and I'm approved for $3,000. What happens then is I'm approved Steve, if you're the doctor, you also know that I'm approved. So when I come in, you're much more confident presenting treatment, and I'm much more likely to actually show up for my appointment or schedule an appointment. Then we have the check-in and consultation. That's where there's signage in the office, but also the iPad you were talking about, that 30-second application with just a scan of an ID, no hard credit checks involved. That's a tool for the staff members to present financing quickly, easy. This isn't your grandfather's financing. This is something else. There's no social security, all of that stuff.
All that stuff.
And then there's the checkout link. So we need to make it easy also if someone's not standing right there to send them a link. Hey, you can pay on the go. So those 3 tools. And if I double click into what the kind of banners and pop point of purchase materials look like, there's banners for the site, in-person materials, digital materials, all of these things that can make the digital experience for the patient more appealing and help the office cast a wider net, and simple banners that you can place on your website, share it through social media, utilizing like a specific URL for that office that can be put into text reminders, put on social media, or put into email campaigns. And everyone's doing these things already. So it doesn't change the content of your text reminder, right? Someone's coming in at 10 a.m. tomorrow. By the way, you can click here to get pre-approved if you want to pay overtime.
Nice.
And it's just a nice extra little bump for the patient.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
You can
everywhere.
have it everywhere.
Totally.
Love
Exactly.
it. Okay. So Stu, you want to show everybody where Sunbit lives on the Crown Council, on crowncouncil.com?
You bet. So
We have a special home for you, Robert.
yeah, we do. And Sunbit has actually created this special landing page for Crown Council members. Super easy to find, which we'll include with this link. But this is Robert, this is where you want to start Crown Council members to go when they connect with you.
Exactly right. You can also reach out to us directly. It's robert@sunbit.com. But if you go to dental.sunbit.com/Crown Council,
yep,
you fill in your information, let us know that you want someone to reach out, and we'll be on the phone with you in minutes.
Very cool. And I can navigate to the Crown Council website. I know that's where everybody starts. So crowncouncil.com, very easy. Once you're logged in, go to My Directory, and you'll find what's called just the Resource Partner Hub here. So right here, Resource Partners. And Sunbit has done an incredible job with resources and education on their Resource Partner page here. Not Sunlit, nope. And so you can navigate here. So this is another way that you can connect with Sunbit. Really easy.
Love it. Robert,
Right.
thanks for being with. I don't know what happened to your cohort there. She disappeared.
Yeah, Brennan.
Brennan disappeared, but I'll do
I'm
one
still
magic
here.
trick.
Oh, you're still here? We like
Right
this
there.
here.
Yeah. No, thank you so much for having us. It's always a pleasure to get to speak with you guys and see you. And you always put on a great webinar. So thank you so much for having us.
Yeah,
Well,
and I'm not sure who's on deck for ADOM next month, but I'm looking forward to being at ADOM. We're gonna do a little Sunbit Crown Council duo presentation. So I'm looking forward to that.
That's gonna be great. You'll see Andrew from our team again. He was there last year with you. So he's excited to run it back with you.
Very cool.
Very
All
cool.
right, thanks you too.
Thank you,
Great to
guys.
be with you.
Guys, bye. Have a
Thanks,
good one.
team.
Hey,
Bye.
bye-bye. I've seen that iPad demo live where
It's awesome.
he scans your license and I'm
That's
like,
it.
what is it doing? This is
It just goes out and grabs your information.
it's crazy. Like you don't
Awesome.
type, he doesn't type anything in, he doesn't do anything. It's
Nope.
really
Make it fast. It's so cool.
yeah. It actually was scary, but
Makes
it's
it
fine.
easy.
Very cool. All right, Steve. That was it. End of guest.
Awesome. Great group today. And thanks for a great program all the way from Seattle to everywhere in between. Not Seattle, Vancouver, right?
Vancouver. Yeah, and the next week we've got some really fun young dentists lined up who participated in the program the last couple of weeks to share their experiences. So it'll be fun to have them on as guests.
Sweet. Great.
Hey man. Thanks everybody.
Great to be with you.